Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. As the hospital staff smiles, Jada joyfully responds, yes, to Rafe on today's episode of Days of Our Lives. As Jada and Rafe share a kiss, they cheer. Javi is eating some snacks at home when Gabby arrives, takes off her ring, and informs him that she and Stefan are divorcing. With only a farewell letter for EJ, he packed everything and departed. Nothing remains for them. Her marriage is finalized after the documents are signed and filed. Rafe and Jada arrive home eager to announce their engagement, while Javi and Gabby embrace. As Rafe presents Javi to Jada, Gabby puts up a brave front and congratulates them. They tell him the incredibly romantic tale of how Rafe proposed to Vivian while she was in the ICU after believing she had killed Jada. When Gabby finds out that Vivian is in town, she is horrified and remarks that she would have wasted her trip if she had come to meet Stefan. Rafe and Jada get ready as she and Javi head out to start drinking after declaring it's time to celebrate. However, as they begin to argue, the recently engaged couple becomes sidetracked. Joy and Stephanie meet in the square to discuss Joy's joining the show and the Associated Press. Steph cautions about Joy's personality, saying, "You might get some flack for being a homewrecker." Reagan's interference between Faith and Arrow will not sit well with fans. "Oh, you're not really ending a relationship, are you?" Steph asks naively. Nancy rushes in to congratulate Joy on landing a position on Body and Soul as Stephanie leaves. After what Stephanie and Alex did, she then cautions her daughter from sleeping with any members of the cast, crew, or anybody else on the site. Joy frequently finds herself in messy situations. All she wants is for Joy to be successful. When Nancy returns to New York City, Joy says she'll just have to trust her, and Mom concurs. In relation to that, she has the ideal lodging for Joy. Nancy pulls her away. Alex arrives at small bar while Leo is working on the next script for Body and Soul and Arrow. Alex acknowledges they're done as the conversation shifts to him and Stephanie hooking together. An actor and the show's publicist are incompatible. Then, Leo begins to explain about how difficult it has been for him to find someone since Dimitri ripped my heart out and stomped on it. Just as Stephanie enters, Alex begins to tell about his own heartbreak. He yanks her away and expresses regret for the confusion with Kate. Steph then acknowledges that the main reason she stated she didn't want to sleep with him was because she believed he was having an affair. After she relates what transpired, Alex sardonically remarks, "So you were jealous." They begin discussing their desires, but Stephanie claims it is pointless because Kate's announcement means they can only be together as great friends. When Javi enters and takes a seat directly next to Leo, who is left alone, he begins writing a romantic interest on his laptop. The two strike up a conversation and flirt after Leo offers to let them try his drink. They meet themselves quickly, but Gabby advises her cousin to step away from Stark as soon as she arrives. After dragging Javi away, she begins telling her cousin about all of Leo's wrongdoings. He can't quit staring at Leo, though. When Jada and Rafe eventually arrive, Javi takes advantage of the situation to rush back to Leo and place an order for drinks. He tells Leo, "I like me a bad boy," and Leo requests Javi's phone number. After getting sweet again with Gabby, Rafe and Jada decide they might want to limit their PDA while Gabby is still grieving the loss of her husband. In order to obtain all the information, Stephanie sees them, catches Jada, sees the ring, and takes her away. When Rafe is by himself, he asks his sister to tell him what transpired with Stefan, and Gabby does. After stating that Stefan left forever, she tells him, "Good riddance, if you ask me." Returning with the champagne, Javi begins to dance. As Leo receives a text from Javi, Stephanie and Jada dance back over. Chanel isn't very interested in Johnny's attempts to impress her at the house. "How are we doing?" he asks. He expresses regret once more, confesses that his words were unacceptable, and tells her that he is disgusted with himself. However, she promised to pardon him. "It's true," she says, "but getting over it is difficult." He will stop at nothing to make it right with her, even though he knows it will take effort for them to get past it. Despite her anger, Chanel isn't prepared to end their marriage because of some hurtful remarks. Furthermore, neither of them really cheated on the other. He says he has something to tell her, shows a flashback of Joy returning his ring, and then he chickens out and swears he won't harm Chanel in the same way again. Thus, he proposes to take her to the pub for breakfast and dinner. Johnny appears to be in a panic as Chanel gets ready. When they go to dinner, Johnny apologizes for not being able to appreciate his wife's surprise celebration and praises her for it. To the discomfiture of Johnny and Joy, Nancy and Joy enter and join the two as things are going well. Since Johnny is the director, Nancy requests that he give Joy some special attention. Then, because she wants Joy to book a stay there, she asks whether anyone has seen Roman. Chanel extends an invitation to supper with the mother and daughter before they depart, all the while gushing about meeting the woman who's coming to steal my man. As they eat bacon, Johnny and Joy nervously observe one another. In recent years, Days of Our Lives has had to bid farewell to far too many cherished actors and their iconic roles. But because of the show's long filming period, the on-screen and off-screen farewells are sometimes somewhat apart. It took 9 months after John Aniston's death to bid Victor farewell on television. Doug's death was timed to coincide with the show's 15,000th episode, about a year after Bill Hayes' demise. People have been wondering when we'll lose John since Drake Hodgson passed away a little more than a month ago. This is especially true given that he was unable to film in the last months of his life due to his battle with pancreatic cancer. We assumed that John's unavoidable absence was due to the fact that we knew from the season trailer that the program had just aired at Day of Days that he would be going missing shortly. However, given that John's farewell was taped while Hodgson was still alive, it appears that we will be saying goodbye to him sooner rather than later. The decision was difficult, especially since Hodgson was doing everything in his power to overcome the cancer, executive producer Ken Corday told Soap Opera Digest. However, he was absent for so long that they eventually had to come up with an excuse for John's absence. Even though character deaths are common in daytime television, it's not a decision you make lightly, especially when the actor is battling for his life. Corday then contacted Hodgson to discuss their options. He told SOD, "I wanted to make sure Drake approved of this, and he was completely on board with it. He had faith in me. Drake would have returned and things would have been different if he had defeated this, God willing." He didn't, at first, agree with what was going on, stated Stephen Nichols, Steve. Hodgson remained alive. But in the end, that's also what made it acceptable. Ken was given the storylines okay in advance by John's actor. I therefore felt obligated to contribute my share if it was acceptable to him. Nevertheless, it remained the hardest thing I've ever done. Despite their best efforts, Deidre Hull clarified that the plot was not a farewell to Hodgson. Marlena's character told SOD, "Drake was still with us. He was fighting the good fight, and he was looking forward to returning. Thus, we had yet to bid him farewell. And at that time, we weren't saying goodbye to him." However, she went on to say that it is a remarkable conclusion for John and his legacy now that Hodgson is dead. It will endure throughout the years, Hall assured, adding that there will be many flashbacks. There is a great deal of heart and history. We are aware that overcoming this will not be simple. But no matter the time, saying goodbye is never easy.